Hello. I so I need to first of all address a comment. There was somebody commented on my basically किसी ने comment किया था प्रीति पी आईडी में ऐड कर दूंगी मेरे को याद नहीं है तो प्रीति पी somebody commented के if you read like very famous books then same result ही आएगा ना बाहर so that comment actually helped me and I picked up this book named Iqbal from the what we'll say Abbots का market basically 50 rupees book. I didn't expect it to be that good. मैं बस इसका पीछे का पढ़ी थी and it was based on a true story. It's a novel based on a true story of a boy named Iqbal Masih who worked as a bonded labor in a carpet factory. So I thought fine, let's give a try. I started reading this book today and I finished it today. ये इतनी अच्छी book है. Like I need to give you because I don't think you will find the same copy, so I think I can give you the whole story of this book. Also, I'll add my reaction to the last chapter of this book. So yeah, we will come back to that reaction later on. So yeah, this book revolves around a character named Iqbal. Before that, there are side other characters also that you need to know about. There is a girl named Fatima. There is a very tiny little girl named Maria. There is another छोटू सा लड़का named Ali. There is I have written names. I'm very bad with names. So there is Fatima. She is basically the narrator of the story. There are other characters who are Ali, Maria, Qasim, Salman. Okay. Then there is a character named Hussain Khan who is the master basically. And then there is another character will be introduced जिसका नाम ईशान खान है. So basically what is the story about is that there is this girl named Fatima. She is working in a carpet factory. Why? Because her parents had took some debt from a money lender and वो लोग पे नहीं कर पा रहे थे तो मनी लेंडर डिसाइडेड कि मैं ये लड़की को अब लेके जाकर कहीं पर इसका लेबर बेच दूंगा बेसिकली. सो मनी लेंडर टुक हर एंड देन विद द परमिशन ऑफ पेरेंट्स. ऑब्वियसली परमिशन मतलब इसमें कंसेंट तो आता ही नहीं है कहीं से भी. दैट इज अनदर थिंग. So yeah, with the knowledge of parents, he took the child and then he sold her off to this Hussain Khan, who was a carpet factory ka owner. So this guy gave every girl or every child that arrived in that carpet factory as a bonded labor a patent to make carpets of, and they had to do the same thing. Agar by the end of the day and when they arrive they are given a slate with their name on it. उस पे lines बने हुए थे कि per day 1 rupee, so this much your parents have to repay the debt. So इतना इतना काम करोगे आप इतने इतने दिन तक तो I'll keep rubbing one line a day. Whenever your slate gets empty you are free to go home. Okay. And none of the child knew how to like count numbers, how to read, write. तो exploitation बहुत easy है वहाँ पर. ऐसे ही फातिमा when she arrived he gave her a slate, same thing. एक स्लेट पे आप कितने ही लाइंस बना सकते हो. बेचारी 3 साल से काम कर रही है every day relentlessly. Every day he wipes off one line but then it comes back again somehow. So basically that kind of exploitation is happening. And then 3 years later of her working in that factory a guy arrives, a छोटा बच्चा. His name is Iqbal. But he was not like the other children who arrived there because he was rebellious. उसको एक बार बोला गया था कि कारपेट बनाने के लिए. उसने पूरा कारपेट बनाया. फिर with the knife that they used to cut the end of the carpet, the threads at the end of the carpet, he took and slashed the carpet in between while looking at the master. And the master threw him into isolation as a punishment. ये बंदा isolation में जाने के बाद भी बाहर निकल के he escaped. He went out in order to ask for help, in order to seek for help. And then he went to police. He brought 2 police back with him to the factory to tell them कि यहाँ पर exploitation of children हो रहा है. But then the police took corruption, took bribe, and then they left what was Iqbal there. And he was beaten badly by Hussain Khan again. But this time he came back with a pamphlet in which it was written basically के bonded labor free federation something. Basically एक federation का pamphlet कुछ था. And they were children, nobody knew how to read and write and they thought they were losing hope again कि अब क्या ही कर सकते हैं. pamphlet तो है हमारे पास पर हमें पढ़ना नहीं आता है. Then this little girl Maria who never spoke a single word in 3 years of her being there Suddenly she spoke and she was like, my father was a teacher. He taught me how to read and write. I know how to read. And she taught everyone how to read and write there. That's how they planned and escaped of Iqbal again. And Iqbal somehow escaped again from the factory. And this time he went directly to the Liberation Front. And then he caught their attention. He brought them back with the magistrate, with policemen, with media to the factory. And then he got Hussain Khan arrested. और फिर बाकी सारे बच्चों को उसने किसी तरह से बचा दिया. वी थिंक स्टोरी एंड हियर, खत्म, क्योंकि हो गया ना भाई, बच गया, हीरो हो गया, बच गया. बट नहीं, स्टोरी डजंट एंड हियर. सो इकबाल, हैविंग नो फैमिली टू गो टू एनीवेयर, ही डिसाइड्स कि ये जो लिबरेशन फ्रंट का जो प्रेसिडेंट है एहसान खान, ही विल लिव विथ हिम एंड बिकम लाइक हिम. तो इकबाल learns everything about law and everything, basically not law, like जो bonded labor का law है, that specific thing he learns. He becomes so fearless that he goes and gives speeches in markets and everything. Then during one such speech, American photographer captured his photo and वो पब्लिश हो गया कहीं पर. फिर उसको यूएस में बुलाते हैं टू गिव हिम अ स्कॉलरशिप, ऑल्सो टू गिव हिम अपॉर्चुनिटी टू स्पीक इन स्टॉकहोम कॉन्फ्रेंस. एंड एट दैट टाइम ही गोज, वो बात करके वहां से वापस आता है. एंड देन नाउ ही गोज बैक टू हिज फैमिली, बिकॉज हिज फैमिली इज नाउ रिकॉग्नाइज, लाइक कहाँ है उसकी फैमिली, अब पता चल गई है उसको. तो ही गोज बैक टू हिज फैमिली, हिज विलेज. बट बिकॉज देर आर सो मेनी enemies that he made during this thing, especially the money lenders, especially the factory owners and everything. So when he went back to his village, he was shot in his village. That's how the story ends. And that's actually a real story of Iqbal Masih from Pakistan. After that, what Maria said, my sister was saying, what was the last chapter, what Maria said. So basically Maria said that we are all Iqbal. हम सब में इकबाल है. Every time that you become courageous, you are an Iqbal. She is an Iqbal. Fatima is an Iqbal. And the thing is, this book hit me hard because it's based on a true story. I don't know how much of it is based on a true story, but still. एंड बॉन्डेड लेबर ऐसा नहीं है कि मतलब ये बहुत पहले होता था बॉन्डेड लेबर, अब तो होता ही नहीं है. अब तो मतलब वी आर सो मच लाइक प्रोग्रेस्ड एंड एवरीथिंग कि अभी बॉन्डेड लेबर नहीं होता. आज भी यू गो टू एनी ढाबा, यू गो टू एनी रेस्टोरेंट, like any restaurant in the sense like जो a little highway restaurants and something like that, stalls, tea stalls, you will find children working there. Maybe their what will say conditions are not that exploitative or not that hazardous, but they are still working. How many construction sites do we see children working at? It's still reality. हम बहुत privileged है. We were born and brought up in cities, in houses that actually put our education as a priority. We are privileged. That is why we don't understand the reality of others. But बहुत सारे लोग हैं अभी भी जो worse than this situations में जी रहे हैं. बहुत सारे लोग हैं. So when we think के we sitting in our comfortable cozy houses, sometimes we tend to complain about life. कि यार, how is my life so difficult? How am I living like this? Why am I living like this? This is why, like, I love this quote. I don't know मैंने कहाँ पढ़ा था ये, but then I read it somewhere कि जब आपको गम मिले, अपने से नीचे वालों को देखो. जब आपको खुशी मिले, अपने से ऊपर वालों को देखो. क्योंकि जब आपको गम मिलेगा और अपने से नीचे वालों को देखोगे कि वो और गमगीन है, तो आपको आपका गम उतना ज्यादा नहीं लगेगा. और जब आपको खुशी मिलेगी और जब आप अपने से ऊपर वालों को देखोगे, तो यू विल गेट अ ड्राइव टू गेट टू मोर हैप्पीनेस लाइक व्हाट अदर्स हैव, और गेट टू मोर सक्सेस लाइक व्हाट अदर्स हैव. सो या, इट कीप्स यू हम्बल, इट कीप्स यू ग्राउंडेड बेसिकली. आई लव दिस कोट. I live by this quote. So yeah, here's another book review that I've finished. who's the author of this book if you want. It is actually written by Francesco Di Adamo, but it is translated by Anne Leonori. So yeah, this was the book. इसका अगर कोई पेपरबैक, मतलब अगर कोई पब्लिशर अगर हम बात करें तो अलादीन पेपरबैक्स लिखा हुआ है इस पे. It's a New York company, but I don't know. I just picked it up from Abbott's Market. That's what I know. 50 rupees, really. Whoever says reading books or purchasing books is very expensive habit, nahi. Find the market. I know, like, again, purchasing books from actual authors and them getting money is different. I know that, but then ऐसी books आपको नहीं मिलेगी फिर. Because वही आपको जो which is famous on Book Talk, which is famous on BookTube, वही books मिलेगी. Who will read these books then? And starting somewhere is okay. बाद में you can think of the ethics of it. First, पहले शुरू तो कीजिए. So yeah, that was my opinion, views about life. I think I love these kind of genre. मेरे से वो जो मैंने रोमांस वाली गलती करी थी मैं फिर से नहीं करूँगी. I think मेरे को ऐसे ही बुक्स पसंद है जो रियलिस्टिक हो. मेरे को ऐसे ही बुक्स पसंद है because I just like I smell these books in a day. खत्म कर देती हूँ, मैं sniff कर देती हूँ पूरा एक ही दिन में ये बुक्स को. So yeah, I think I should stick by these kind of genre. So yeah, how much would I rate it? 10 on 10. पूछने वाली भी बात है. I cried on this book. End my cried. You will see that. Maybe I'll put it. I don't know. Editor Farah will take care of it when she wants to put that video. So I'm reading this book named Iqbal. I am in the last chapter and I'm anticipating something bad to happen. I don't know why. I'm just anticipating something bad to happen and I'm scared. But I need to finish this book, sister. A man has murmured that through the curtain of a falling rain, he saw Iqbal pass close to the car. The window came down a little and there was 3, 4 or maybe 5 flashes. Before anyone could get the men together and run to help, the car had disappeared. Iqbal's body was there. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Iqbal's body was there, fallen in the lane, and the water under him was stained red. But even the red water disappeared soon. The rain washed it away. This is what they have told me. But listen, Fatima, I know it's not true. At first I thought I had become mute again. I had closed up inside. I kept saying to myself, it's not true. You know what people are like, how they imagine things, how rumors persist. Everyone else was convinced the news was true, even Ishan Khan and his wife. I always was the one who didn't believe it. Then one afternoon 2 weeks ago, there was a knock on the garden door. It was a boy, dirty and bruised from his chain around his ankles. He told us he had been working in a carpet factory, that he had run away and come to us so that we would help arrest his master and free other children. And then do you want to know what he said? I am not afraid. I looked at him carefully, Fatima. It was Iqbal. I swear he was identical, the same voice, the same eyes. 3 days later, another boy appeared, and then at the market, a boy rebelled against his master, one of the richest merchants. They were Iqbal too. Try not to be sad, Fatima. He changed our lives, and will be with us forever. I told Ishan Khan that I'll be one to study and go to university. I'll become a lawyer and I'll fight to free all slaves in Pakistan and all over the world. For the first time in my life, I'm not afraid either. My sister, I don't know where you're going or how I'll be able to communicate with you or even if we'll meet ever again. I just beg of you, don't forget. Tell somebody our story. Tell everybody our story, that the memory will not be lost. That's the only way to keep Iqbal at our side forever. Your sister Maria. I knew it. I will come back next time with a better book. अभी मेरे पास नहीं मालूम मेरे को, अभी मेरे टीबीआर में बहुत सारे बुक्स हैं, बट देन दोज आर नॉट ऑफ दिस जॉनरा. आई वांटेड टू एक्सपीरियंस लाइक ऑल जॉनरा, सो मैंने हर एक जॉनरा का एक बुक उठा लिया. तो साइलेंट पेशेंट वाज थ्रिलर, टू गुड टू बी ट्रू वाज रोमांस, इकबाल वाज अ biography kind of a thing, biography based novel kind of a thing. Then there is Inside the Parliament बोल के एक book है, because politics का थोड़ा सा पढ़ना था मेरे को. I think I'll start with Inside the Parliament next. Let's see. That's future for us decision. So let's see. Till then, bye bye.